You know what time it is? It is time to revolutionize your marketing. We are here every Friday at 4 o'clock Central, 5 o'clock Eastern, live at 5 for Revolutionize Your Marketing. My name is Sue Roskoff. I'm here with the World of Ability Podcast Network, and I am so happy to introduce your host, John Petro Sr. And here we are with Revolutionize Your Marketing. John, welcome. Over to you.
Thank you, Sue. Great introduction as always. And hello, folks, and welcome to Revolutionize Your Marketing. And I have a guest tonight. It is to be very interesting and probably a shortened version of my show this week. Let's welcome Helen. How you doing, Helen?
Well, okay, I've unmuted. And do you like the songs? Because you and I maybe listen to some of the same songs. I feel good. Da 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 da.
All right. Why don't we let people know who you are, where you're from, and how you get to do what you're doing today?
I am a 72-year-old retired career nurse. I had 40 years in. In 2016, I retired because I felt I could do more good for more people if I got out of the box and just uh, return to the era of how I served with my family, multi-generational family, ever since I was a preschooler. I had the advantage of a stay-at-home mom, and we did a lot of our work. We always had a garden, even though my dad was a research scientist. And I lived in the fabulous state of Minnesota. So there were wild berries, and in our garden were the domestic berries. And so I love exploring. So I needed a business and a career that would allow me to be out and about. So I am in Kansas when I'm not in this virtual international spaces station that is in low orbit. I love making art, and my role in the family was to cheer people up after our mother turned sad after the baby only lived 2 weeks. So the business of trauma informed care, helping families get through sad times, because we're all human. Life and death happens, and we have to pay taxes in between, as they say. So I like the fact Jesus told us to pay taxes, but I want to do it in a way that fits in full integrity with me. What's your story?
My story is, I know how what you're saying about grief because we lost two infants before they were born. Uh, about 9 years apart, but on the same exact day,
Wow,
which is kind of unusual.
it is.
I say it was 10 years. My wife says it was nine.
Yeah,
Who's right, who's wrong, doesn't matter.
doesn't
But
matter, does it?
the same exact day. And I
Wow.
can tell you from experience, going through that twice, it's not any easier the second time.
No.
Uh,
And the fact that, your wife, that is in her mind. So that day, the hormones, the scare factor, all of those were dumping again. That fear factor and our
yeah,
thoughts and our hormones. If you have a thought, it dumps the hormones. People don't understand how the human brain and the immune system and the hormonal system, and under stress, like the most people die of heart attacks on Monday morning if they're dreading going to work. The blood is thicker in the
yeah.
morning. If you add dread to it, it compounds the thing. So, and the other thing that you bring up, I mean, just by your expression and your heartfelt expression of how difficult that is, and it does not easier the second time. Fathers
Mm.
are not given nobody's given the proper therapy to process that grief. So I know exactly that because Joe, my Native American husband, he He and his wife of 10 years had a miscarriage. It totally rocked their world. And then you combine that
Yeah.
with the bottom dropping out of Enron, and that was the field he was in. He was like, how am I ever going to find work? No, everybody's looking for work in my field now. So he just kept his job at American Express, and they both started drinking. And that is a lethal mix that
Yeah.
screws a business. And as I say, the family is the first business I want to make sure is set up to succeed. And that means that my nursing framework is equitable, scalable. It takes the best of everything I was trained to connect people with in their times of need. So, Mill City Business, um, you know, you're going to change that icon. I'm just like, now that I know that that's wrong, I just want to put it in Canva and quickly change it
Mm.
so that nobody is wasting time. Because I was like, okay, let me see. To me, remember that Mill City, busy Nebs can get help here. What are busy nebs? Yeah. So I'm always applying the game of humor. That was my role. How can my wheels start turning? If anybody complains, if they say, I need, I want, I wish, boy, my wheels just start turning. I'm like problem solving, like the safe cracker. I've got one resource I can connect them to. No, I've got a whole bunch. So, but I need to monetize.
Mhm.
But I was holding back monetizing because I don't want to be paying any more taxes to a government that withholds my system from all of the family members of the veterans. So I'm like, what's up with that? And what's up with the people who call themselves Christians that don't let the people who are dropping money into their offering plate and those that are showing up as volunteers after they've paid for the items they're using to volunteer, buy the ingredients, show up and have fundraisers with food feeding the people. I'm like, no, that is not the ministry of Jesus. And he said, pay your taxes. I want to pay taxes to a government that I trust. And it doesn't matter whether it's
Yeah.
Republicans or Democrats. I have seen this pattern repeat every single presidency since 1994 when I sent the Clintons the standard one-page health insurance. And when people's eyes gloss over, I know they got bought out. They got bought out by people that make a whole lot of money profiting on things that undermine our health and our pets' health. So I'm pretty opinionated and by experience.
Well, that's what they call freedom of speech, right?
Yes. Thank God we still have that. We don't have free will because our food system is pumped full of chemicals and products that cause us to not be satisfied. People sit down and they're like,
Yeah.
I ate the whole chip. I ate the whole bag. And it was like, I read the label. That's like, I ate 12 serving sizes. And then they're like, how, now I can't lose weight. It's because it's messing with it's not just empty calories, it's literally undermining cellular health. And who studied, the immune system, the biology of how all of these things affect us? I'm like, where are
Yeah.
my colleagues? Where are my colleagues that have the same background in
Yeah.
epidemiology and immune system and biology and cellular function and the role of the food, which is our fuel supply? Why do people
Yeah.
complain about being so tired? Why am I the Energizer Bunny?
That's like
Well,
a few years back, the government changed the process for pasteurizing milk, and the number of people that came allergic to milk doubled in the process.
yep.
So,
In the
I
U.S.,
mean,
we were have peanut allergies that are not found in other countries. People have no idea. So, what businesses need help? the family business first. We need to have our own food supply, doing
Yeah,
business with people that raise food in fertile soil that are not messing with GMO seeds and giving us song and dance about how it's good for us. That so I
yeah,
love the fact that tell me about you're in Massachusetts, right?
yeah.
And did you grow up in Massachusetts? Were you born there?
Born and raised in Lowell, Mass, right next door to where I am now.
Oh, I know. I've heard about Lowell. I have been to Boston because I happen to have been attending a 2-day training in Washington, D.C., PCORI, Patient-Centered Outcome Research Institute. So they are a nonprofit. They were funded under the Obama Care Act. Um, and I'm doing my own comparison research. I'm not asking for any tax money to do it because I don't trust what is being done at NIH now, and the fact that humor is a complementary alternative healing, but they don't let us all be studied correctly. So anything that's really effective, that is efficient, effective, low cost, and natural to humans, enjoying each other and raising our food and having those good family systems where the work is shared. Um, so in Lowell, Massachusetts, you're going to find way more people that came over on the Mayflower. Am I correct?
Lowell right now is kind of like a melting pot for a lot of nationalities. In
Oh,
fact,
nice.
Lowell is celebrating their bicentennial year, the same year as the country's 250th. And Lowell is really known for an event that they have every year at the end of July
What is
called
that one
The
at the
Lowell
end of
Folk
July?
Festival. It's the
The what
Lowell Folk
festival?
Festival.
Just the Lowell Folk Festival?
The Lowell Folk Festival.
Nice.
It's one of the largest free folk festivals in the country. This is
Wow.
their 38th year of putting it on. It started before that with the National Folk Festival. I don't even know if they're still putting it on. They used to go to a different city every year and put the festival on. And when they came to Lowell, they stayed in Lowell for 3 years because of the popularity of it. And
So when you say a
the,
melting pot, I'm visualizing the bright colored costumes like of the Czechoslovakians, the Russians, and all the folk dances and the music and the oh
yep,
gosh, music is so therapeutic, and like those Eastern Bloc countries, though they're very strong muscles, to be able to do those different things. I also love the
yeah.
Chinese dragons. Is that part of the Low Festival and the
I don't think they've ever had the Chinese dragon, but they do have 6 or 7 stages set up throughout the downtown area. The whole downtown area is blocked off for the whole weekend. It's
and
a
so
3 day
what is the
event.
exact date this year? We need to put that in the chat so people can find it in the show notes because I think that's a fabulous business. For instance, no city would continue to do
Yeah.
that if everybody wasn't making money. And
And they continue to do it free too. They have all kinds of international groups come in for music. There's international food all over the place, crafts and different events throughout the weekend. It's really popular. It draws people in from all over the country.
how can
Um,
people find lodging so that they have more money to spend at the festival? Because lodging is so expensive and travel. How do people come
yeah,
to Lowell?
um, a lot of them actually stay out of the city. There's plenty of hotels around the area. I mean, they stay as far away as Boston actually, and take the train up.
Yeah.
We the train comes right into Lowell from Boston, so anywhere along the way. It's
So
they used to.
on the way from New York and Washington D.C., do you go to Lowell first or to Boston first?
Um, Coming in, you can go directly into Boston, or you can branch off and come up into Lowell.
Oh, branch off. Okay.
This highway's right into Lowell.
Okay. But the train, I
Uh,
do love to stay in the train. And also, I am a
yeah,
person that loves to stay among the people. So I like the international hostels. I like the bed and breakfast, staying with local families, and
yeah,
learning more than being in anywhere USA where you're just in some hotel, some chain. Um, so what? Um,
yeah.
in your alignable ambassador status, is there a network of bed and breakfast there of people that host those kind of networks of people who do like to stay in homes among the
Um,
people?
I don't know of anybody on Alignable that has a bed and breakfast. Um, I know one of my wife's businesses. She has a laundry business that she does, and we've got a couple people that run bed and breakfasts um, in the area. Well, one of them doesn't anymore. She kind of lost her bed and breakfast to a fire.
Oh,
Um, but I don't know if she started another one or not. It was her life dream, so she actually was able to start one. And yeah, my son went to drop off an order one night and says, I can't get to the place. It's all fire trucks.
oh no.
He actually went there when it was happening.
Whoa.
Um,
Do
but
you have
yeah,
volunteer
it's
firemen or paid departments there?
paid.
Okay.
They're paid. We've got quite a big force
Was she able
in
to
Lowell.
salvage any of the house or did she lose it all?
I don't know. We haven't really talked to her about it because it was really emotional for her when it happened, because that was her life
Absolutely.
dream. And I haven't actually been by there.
I
Um,
would love to connect with her on so many levels because my model is community service learning. And so, as a disaster responder, I after I knew I'm going to retire from my nursing, I thought, what will I like to transition in where I can use my same knowledge base? So I took the training in children's disaster service through the Church of the Brethren. And so I was dispatched to the Oklahoma wildfires. And there was a FEMA center, the Red Cross there. The people were coming in, filling out the forms. But what the Church of the Brethren does, we handle the child care center. But these are like, a one big open room, and, you're off to the side. We have to be able to set up our child care centers within a half hour of landing, which I'm easy to do. And they have art therapy, they have um, soft, cuddly animals to play with. They have cars and ways like that. And it is child led. So that is a really important aspect of trauma therapy is that people get to express themselves how they want to express themselves. So
yeah,
those and when people get to participate from their own homes, their own spaces, they have access to their favorite things. So, Julie Andrews got paid to sing, "These are a few of my favorite things. When the dog bites, when the bee stings, when I'm feeling sad, I simply remember my favorite things and then I don't feel so bad." Yeah. So when we get to go into whatever it is and we delight in humor and singing and even going, ah, Tarzan, that vibrates the thymus gland. which is so important to proper function of the immune system and in helping us to change our attitude. And so Wellness Weavers, the system is, I made a covenant with God, and I said, I'm going to trust that you're going to make sure that I always have shelter and food, and then I will work on restoring the health and human birthright to all the people through the healthcare system. Now, why those last words came out of my mouth, through the healthcare system, I had no idea how hacked the healthcare system was by big corporations that pay lobbyists and give stock tips to the legislators, so they're sure to leave office with lots of money. And you can bet that the health insurance plans that they have functional medicine, have the finest features. Meanwhile, they say what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Well, I'm going to
Yeah.
say, which ones are the legislators? Are they the goose or are they the gander? Is a goose and a
Depends on what side of
gander?
the aisle you're talking about.
Yeah, and I'm saying this no aisle, be
Yeah.
transparent. Um, say, what is it that's wrong with the Wellness Weavers model? Why don't we have the Sophia Law? Why don't we have everything I offered, because I deal with the best of everything that was out there? So, for instance, President Carter, they had Habitat for Humanity. And I loved working on Habitat for Humanity homes. I did it in Orlando at a part of a conference. So then those people, they get to count our volunteer hours as in-kind matching fund. Everything that wealthy people do that are these conferences that do these humanitarian projects, they are have wealth management specialists, they have all the lawyers, and they tax shelter their money, and they form nonprofits and businesses. And in order to have a franchise, you have to open 3 businesses within a year. You have to keep them open for 1 year, then you can close them. You know, Nope, I play for keeps. I use those laws and those loopholes to serve the family, and I give them the finest healthcare support of holistic well being. So, can you properly use me in the Alignable Ambassador Alliance? I want to align with the other people that have my value system, that know the difference between right and wrong, and do not look the other way for the white collar criminals.
Yeah, you can go on to alignable.com and just
I'm a member in there,
sign.
but I don't give
Yeah.
it much attention because I am not finding business deals. I'm finding people that are not courageous. I'm finding people that know what I'm talking about, and then they get the deer in the headlight look of, uh-oh, now are my children going to be killed? Are my loved ones going to be talked into suicide? Um, it is a bizarro world where people get paid for their mental health work, and they are not doing trauma informed care. They don't know internal family systems. And not only that's an internal, oh, the parts of me, this part of me is this, and part of me is that. That's one definition of an internal family system, our own inner being. But then we have what's happening in the person's real family of origin, in the foster care system, internally, what is happening to this person because of which family they're in. So the
Mm.
Wellness Weaver system deals with that. We have the international icon, Our World Has Time for You. So it levels the playing field no matter rich or poor. Anybody who wants to be well, who wants to disassociate themselves from that other nefarious, evil woman. The wealthy, oppressive Oz zone, they create opportunity zones. They redline neighborhoods. They cut off neighborhoods. Um, the African American family, the Native Americans have been given an extremely raw deal. And the buck stops here, um, because they deserve the finest wellness system. They deserve to have water without leaving the reservation. And, what happened in Flint, Michigan, do you remember that?
No,
And the Aaron Brockovich thing of exposing corporations that are getting away, and then they turn that over into a super fund cleanup, which is then turns it over to the taxpayers. No, the people who created the problems are responsible for cleaning them up, and that is covered under the Sophia Amendment. Nobody gets to have government contracts that are not offering holistic wellness to the taxpayers, the people with disabilities that they created. That responsibility for cleanup comes from the people who say they need money for R&D, research and development. Nope, they have been spending our money in research development to create products that are more addictive, that are undermining health and human services, um, and and actually mutating the genetic DNA. And so the fact that you know about what they did about the pasteurization process, and now we have more milk allergies, we've got peanut allergies, we've got people with EpiPens, um, allergies to all kinds of things. So we need the business that actually says, no, we're not doing business like that anymore. We are actually supporting the scientific research, and while we're on these formats, so Wellness Weavers pays for my pitch, which is an interactive website that handles 600 people at once, and we can do business contracts. Because, but we need to protect anybody who's doing business with me, because they get told, oh, you want to cooperate with that little woman, it's going to cost you your business. And my son-in-law, who's the president and CEO of Civic Plus, who has government contracts for websites, when I said, Brian, just put the Wellness Weavers logo on each website that you build, then they can be tied to the 211 resources, and they can see what the community service learning projects are for that day, for everybody that wants to add value to learning and wants to build their resume by signing up to be a member of a work team or a leader of a project team. We don't have to have decay in our communities. We can have support. And that same system of tax sheltering money can be, and profit loss balance, that could be done in full integrity when we find the right people who say they will protect us and our families.
hmm,
So that's the challenge.
yeah, finding the right people.
And I think I found one today. It's odd that we should align in this way, and because literally there are people, the whole unity, silent unity, they are praying that the right gatekeepers come and open the gates to the right form of business for people I declare are wellness weavers.
Yeah. Well, it's like I always say, and it's in my chapter in this collaborative book, is if it wasn't for mom and pop's places, that they're the ones that started this country.
Yep.
And that's what we got to bring back is more independent businesses.
And
And
people
that's
that
what this book
came,
is.
they were, yeah, build with purpose is so true. We do have to have the purpose and the intention of, if we're going to spend our time doing something, it needs to be done right. So the shipbuilders, my Mennonite ancestors, the Huguenots, they all were people of extreme value and purpose, attention to detail, and taking care of everybody. Because if you don't build those ships correctly, you lose the whole team. and the goods and the services
Yeah.
that you need to support the team, as well as make money in the merchants and the trade system.
Yeah.
So I'm very, very proud of my ancestors. That the first ones in Japan, I was like, yay! They built the bamboo boats, lashed it together with their fine stitching. Oh my gosh, the way they tie all the knots, and they're so ingenious. And I love the knots. I love the fabric. The earth, the silkworm farms, and the people that have patience to yeah, it's all that nature and human balance. They don't destroy, their whole crop, harvest everything so that there's nothing left to go again, or destroy the habitat of of the animals that they need. It's a symbiotic relationship. So, um, the Wellness Weavers logo, when I turn off my camera, I think it comes. This is the original Wellness Weavers logo that shows our diversity and bloom where we're planted, vitally alive. This is body, mind, and spirit. So when we are connected in the spirit of let's solve whatever's causing angst in our members, then it's great, because this cane might be just for balance. It might be a cane to quickly snag a kid or a sheep. Those big tall ones give us a longer reach. Um, and then now the way, this is a wheelchair, this is a cane, and they're adding stability on the ends, but together we're taking care of the little ones of all genders, and we're making sure that parents have time for quality relationships and that their children are safe when they're out on their date. So no matter what they're doing, how they're traveling, unfortunately, that date rape, Doug, and the way they gain confidence of families to trust in the camps on the cruises, and then they just have one room where the kids are slipped the drink. It gives them like the dental amnesia, and then they're posed. And it happens to adults too. One drink too many, then they say, "Oh, what you did last night," and they convince them that they maybe did something they didn't even do. But they've got the blackmail pictures, and they say, we're going to publish this if you don't do what we say. Or if that doesn't work, if they actually have nothing that they can blacklist people from by, if you have no children, if you're, then they will blacklist you. So my family is an example of both. It is very, very sad to have two twins that were photojournalism. They were number one and number two in gymnastics. They won contests for their cheerleading for their school and in Milford, New Jersey, and also in Southlake, Texas. And they were given the date rape drug at age 17. And their older brother was being kept busy because they trained him to be a techno DJ. I do not like techno music. I don't like free flowing drugs and rave parties and bored rich kids. So, anyway, I want families to have parties and social events where we have our full faculties and can really enjoy nature and the camp. So, do you know, I associate Massachusetts with On Golden Pond. Where was that actually filmed?
Um, I'm not sure. I used to know. I don't
At this
even.
point, the research committee should be behind. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, let's look and see where was On Golden Pond filmed. And I'm happy to report that I just learned. Remember, Donnie Most played Ralphie on Happy Days with the
Yeah.
Fonz and with Ron Howard.
Yeah.
I literally thought he and Andy Griffin were father son.
Funny you should mention that. Up here in Little Middlesex Community College, every so often has a celebrity forum, And it was 2 weeks ago, they had the three of them, Arthur Fonzarelli, um, Foxy, and Ralphie.
Wow.
They had the three of them on stage at the auditorium.
Oh, that's great. Well, Ron Most just got cast to be the lead in so that had been played by Henry Fonda in the movie. He is going to be doing on Golden Pond on stage.
Wow.
I'm not sure where he's doing that. It may be in Colorado, which is his state he likes to be.
Yeah.
But he's performed here in Waterville, Kansas, in the Opera House. And one thing I really appreciate about him is that he goes places and he pulls together the local musicians from the colleges and everything, and they are his band. I think that's so fabulous. Are you doing the search?
Yeah. Asking
Okay.
myself. Squam Lake in the Central Lakes region of New Hampshire.
The Central Lakes region of New Hampshire. Oh, that's like the Bob Newhart show. Or we was in Vermont. What was that? Was Bob Newhart in
Um,
New Hampshire or Vermont?
additional shooting was in the town of Meredith.
Hmm.
Holderness is where it was based. Production
Well,
was heavily based in the nearby town of Holderness, New Hampshire, with
so talk.
additional shooting in the town of Meredith.
Oh, nice. And how about the Bob Newhart show?
Let's ask
And then the
Martha.
other movie, which I had never seen, White Christmas. And I was like, how is it that I hadn't seen that Christmas movie till just a couple years ago? Joe Porter brought it up for me. And I was like, how is it I've never seen this movie? I love it. Sisters, sisters,
You know,
remember?
another reason why Lowell is so well known. The movie The Fighter was filmed in Lowell about a boxer from Lowell, Mickey Ward.
Mickey Ward?
Mickey
Like
Ward.
Montgomery Wards?
Was,
Montgomery.
no, he was right from Lowell here.
Oh, wow. So
And
what era
there
did
were,
Mickey Ward live?
um, he's, he's still around. I've actually met him personally. Um, some of the people that played in that movie played themselves,
Oh, wow.
like his boxing coach
Uh-huh.
and one of the police officers,
Oh, that's
both
cool.
of which have now passed away.
Oh, but they're
Um,
immortalized on the film. Isn't that fun?
yeah, they played themselves
And they got
in
to
the
play
movie.
themselves. That's great. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow. So what is
it actually,
something,
it actually, the beginning of the movie was Mickey Wood and his brother, and the scene is around the corner from where I grew up.
wow.
Um, so yeah, there was supposed to be a second version of that movie, but it never got off the ground.
Okay. Now with
But
AI, they can get anything off the ground, you know.
yeah,
And,
there's
and
there's a few movies that were partially filmed in Lowell too. Um,
were some of them about witching, burning witches?
no, those are up in Salem, Mass.
Salem, yeah, exactly. But that's
Um,
Massachusetts. Mass
but
witch
uh,
murder. And what was so humorous about that is, oh, if you sink, then you weren't a witch, or was it the other way around? If you float, you're the witch. Either way, you get killed. If you float, they kill you. If you sunk, you weren't a witch, so then you're still dead. So it was just like crazy stuff. Let's get rid of women.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been up to Salem quite a few times. I stay away from there for the month of October, though.
Oh, that's a big Halloween fest and
Yeah. I
spooky
had to go
time.
up there one time 2 years ago. Um, my wife does a laundry business, and some of her first customers were up in Salem. It took me 45 minutes just to get out of town.
Oh
I said,
man.
forget it. I'm not going back there in October anymore.
And that's exactly why I don't go to places like Branson, Missouri. I do not want to be stuck in a line of traffic. Why that's why also why I like to walk and why I ride a bicycle because I could sneak up along the sides of those stuck cars and make better time. And so anyway, well, I've told you a whole lot about me during your business meeting, but I want to see, can we make a business contract?
We can talk about that offline.
Very good. How do people do business with you?
They can get a hold of me on book a one-on-one on my calendar.
And are you going to put that in the chat so I can
I
snag it?
will put that in the chat right now.
Okay.
Actually, Kurt, can you throw that in the chat so I can not get too distracted?
And
Kurt
who
can put
makes
that
your
in the
who's going
chat.
to correct your sign? That's one thing I'd like to do to make a good
I'm going to do
meaningful.
that as soon as I get off of this.
Okay.
um, yeah,
Yeah. And what do you think about my International Spaces Station?
I like that. A lot of growth on the roofs of the buildings, which is good.
Do you see my air traffic control tower?
Yeah,
Yeah. And so I want people to claim, and then like this part here where it's long, that's like the walkway. That's where the big Cisco WebEx Enterprise Event Centers and the training stations all decked up. That's where they poured in, and huge volumes of people can come and attend. And then Kurt and Sue, they're the masters, and Emily, they're the masters of blended technology. So Kurt like invited me to a Go brunch. It was like, oh yay, that's like the Rimmo that we use in alliances. So I'm just looking for the wealthy people who want to properly tax shelter their money and that love my system of building activity and purpose into our day in every way, coming into their towns, using the community center, the senior centers, the churches to actually support the hubs of all the work groups of the the ministries that are going on. But of course, I want to make sure that all of those people who are feeding the public actually are trained in the right form of nutrition. Why should we make
yeah,
money on people that and undermine their diabetes, their obesity, and not connect them with functional medicine? So I took the functional medicine training. I was like, I am not getting involved in this system where the leader is obese and says she can't motivate herself to do exercise. She's got all the things there that she could be doing, but she's not doing it. It's like she doesn't have the right counsel. She's not training the people. Oh, she knows PR marketing and right, and she tells people, $150 an hour. I'm like, and who are the people that are earning $150 an hour? I am not playing that game. I'm not getting into your system. I'm not promoting your system. And furthermore, I don't think you know what you're talking about when you can't improve your own energy and motivation to build activity and fun purpose into our lives. So, what I love about renovating buildings is we send in the right team with the right personal protective equipment because if there's asbestos and those kinds of things needing removal, the right people have to be doing it. Lead paint mitigation, you do not send in children in there and let them sand woodwork. What is wrong with people that do that? It's like, oh, lead poisoning for the kids in their developing brains. Yeah, so um, I'm trying to protect people, not lead them into harm's way. And if people are going to be involved with the Wellness Weavers Community Service Learning System, they are not going to be allowed to undermine the health and well being of other people. We do
Yeah,
not give our food service contracts to people that do that.
yeah. I just put my calendar link in the chat.
Thank you so much. And I have to say, I was happy to morph my schedule because I said, oh, just a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit. I can only be in just a little bit because I need to do this because I've got help to. But it was really hot and sticky, John. Unfortunately, in Kansas at 5:15 in the evening, it's not any less sticky or hot. um,
Yeah,
so I appreciate the dignity and respect you gave, and your candidness in sharing, and the fact that
yeah,
your wife and I have a laundry business in common, but Joe helped me in the laundry business. And so when we get the Wellness
yeah,
Weavers campus back into the global Wellness Weavers Global Trust Fund, then we will have all kinds of places to take care of the people that are in here helping us put on events in the Opera House, enjoying the 12 miles of dedicated railroad track, and having family centered fun where people can say, oh, I want to be on the decoration committee. I want to be on the entertainment committee for dinner music. I want to be at the church where the people are just chatting, visiting with their own little groups. Or I want to
yeah,
be in the house where people get the fine dining experience and the different courses. So we can cater to everyone, and it is a fundraiser. So all of
yeah,
that, and so the people that do sweat equity, they earn their meal. I always feed my volunteers. So I just
yeah.
appreciate so much that you have given me the dignity and respect, and that you actually didn't know anything about me, being kind of like a surprise guest. And I can connect
Hey,
you up too. So one of the things when you and I schedule and make our business deal, I can literally, if you text me, Helen, we need a guest, boom, I can fix you up with one if I can't do it. But you can always count on me to continue weaving and adding benefits to the people that are inalienable, that have the ambassador status. You're the first one now to hear what this is. And then grief support. I'd like us to host some events together where your wife and you are there so that we can support other couples who have been through miscarriages, and that we can honor
yeah,
that special day of your angel infants. And I have an angel sister, and she is my virtual assistant. I name my Google channel, I pay for Google Meet. And so when people are like, who's Rebecca Stuckey? I say, she's my virtual assistant. She's my angel sister. And so I have her in the background as a little human glowworm, little baby with her power pack on so she can levitate. And she is running the monitors there. And then my kids had glowworms. They were born in 81 and 82. Did you and your wife have live births amidst your miscarriages?
yes,
How
yes.
many kids do you have?
Of our own, three, and we adopted my wife's grandniece.
Oh, yay! That is so fabulous
She's
because,
she's 12.
oh, that's wonderful. I love to meet 12-year-olds. I love to meet, as you can see, we're all children of God, and I love to meet them at any age and ask them, what do you
Yeah,
want to do? What do you love to do? What have you yet to accomplish? Something that was always on your bucket list, but you just didn't ever allow yourself to spend money and time that way. So, what is the answer to that question for you?
I'm not sure, but one of
You,
my wife's nieces, um, we actually helped raise her at a point because her brother lost the six kids to the system, kept
oh,
in touch with him. His wife left him and left him with six kids.
wow.
So he was trying to work, and my father-in-law was helping raise the kids.
Yeah.
The state found out and stepped in, took them out. The two oldest ones went into homes, which this we're still in touch with all. Her sister took the younger two because they were twins, and we took the middle two and helped raise them. And one of them actually looks at us as kind of her parents. So her four kids are like our grandkids.
Oh,
We
nice.
just had two of them for the past week.
Wow.
We're
Well,
still
that's the kind of
recuperating.
families I like getting involved with, and then we will connect you with some other resources so that those families have access to the resources. And my grandmother Claus,
Yeah.
um, I actually hung up my Santa hat, but Amelia Earhart, uh, in the spirit of her finest work that she didn't get to return to, and because she was very family centered and she funded a lot of people during the Dust Bowl days and the Depression. You know what? I've got the mirroring on or something because when I look at my picture, my brain is mixed up. So like my hat is cattywampus. But Amelia Earhart, we fly into action, and she was a social worker, and she was sad that she couldn't return to her finest work, which was being a social worker. And she did play therapy at the Denison Settlement House in Boston, Massachusetts. So I know that there's more facts. So I just offered you the Amelia Earhart grandmother clause because she didn't get to be a grandmother in this life, but she had a really fine grandmother and her mother. And few people know that Amelia Earhart is the third in a string of Amelias. Amelia, Amelia, Amelia. So Amelia Harry's her
Yeah.
grandmother, who was the nurse midwife at her birth in Atchison, Kansas, was recruited. She was Amelia Harry's from Philadelphia. And the
Yeah.
Ogance school where you send your daughters so that they can marry high into society. And Amelia Earhart was the treasurer of the Christians Women's Group. And when she brought to attention something that was being done that was not in full integrity, the rest of her classmates shunned her. She went off for Christmas and she went to Toronto, Canada, where her sister um, Midge, well, she called her Pidge. Her sister was it Mildred? No, I think that I have to go back and most of my Amelia Earhart stuff is in the library. That yeah, I'm navigating a hostile takeover. I'm on the home stretch of getting the campus buildings put back into the Wellness Weavers Global Trust Fund. But I'm looking for business people that have lawyers they know, like, and
Because I had a
trust.
half an hour late start? Yes, I did. Hold on a minute.
Do you need your wife? Do you need a note from a former nurse so that your wife knows that you're not lying?
No.
I'm going to
Actually,
let you go so that you can catch up with her and tell her you met another woman that wants to meet her. I'm 72. Are you guys older or younger than me?
I'm 67. My wife just last week turned 60.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, Joe is
And she
61.
is also a life coach. She,
Nice.
she took a year-long course twice.
Your wife and I have a whole lot to talk about, and I would love to interview her as content for the Great Discovery. And so we do the beginning introductory level. People can listen to that free. What does it take to get into? What kind of coaching do you want to be? What does it take to qualify? And certainly, people, a husband and wife that step up and raise other children who then call them mom and dad, and will you serve this role for me in at my wedding or in my life and in my children's life? What an honor it is to meet a person like you and your wife. So please
Thank you.
pass that on, and I'll schedule my meeting with you on Calendly. I would love to make it a
Yeah.
time when she can pop in there so we have, or she can pop in from wherever she is. I'd like to learn about your laundry business
Well,
compared to how we ran ours.
well, in if that's the case, then it has to be after probably 6 o'clock at night or on the weekend. She does daycare during the daytime too.
Wow. So I was a child care health consultant, trained at the end of my career, one of 13 nurses trained and the state of Kansas got a grant and they trained us under the North Carolina model where they take nurses and turn them into child care health consultants, where we actually address environmental and infant mental health, all of those, and connect people to the resources. So I really want to do tandem work with your wife because she's still in the workforce. She's a W-2 employee, or is she a 1099? You're paying into SEPTA, so you have to make sure that you guys are properly set up so that you're not giving a corrupt government extra taxes.
No, we actually usually get money back.
Very good. That means you're properly set up, and that's how I play the game too. I let the government have $120 of my money, even though they say, Helen, you can contact the Kansas Public Employee Retirement Center. You don't have to have them taking out. It's like, no, I give them $120 a year so that I can get a little return on my money that goes back into my account. This keeps me involved with the Kansas Employee Public Health. And then I can say, how come all the public employees don't have access to my system? I sent it in 2019 to everybody. I've spent years and hours offering this to the state of Kansas through the veteran services to everything. And the fact is, who's in charge of this corrupt pipeline that will not let them have these free benefits? That's wise use of taxes and wise use of tax deductions. We should all be getting our money back if we're protecting the children instead of the pedophiles that are passing and getting drugs and alcohol into every county and then saying, oh, porn, it's such a diffuse problem in Kansas. Kansas is a rural state. It's like, no, let me solve that mystery for you. Let me show you how it's done and how long I've been studying this system. So the buck stops with us because we need all the bucks we have. Yeah, we're going to keep
Yeah,
our own bucks and then we're going to have our own micro lending system. Thank you.
yeah. All
Amen.
right. I will let you go. It's been a pleasure talking with you, having you on the show.
Thank you.
How
Equally.
can people get a hold of you?
Oh, thank you for asking. This is how they can get a hold of me. On the Great Discovery, I'm building our classroom there. So I want to give them a chance to share this link, the Great Discovery.com. Actually, I shouldn't even need to be typing this. I have it on a notepad so I could quickly paste it, but here I started typing it. Okay, so there's one. And then I'm going to, the problem is when I copy my links into my notepad, the live links turns yellow, which is a very difficult color for me to see with my particular vision issues. Here is a way that they can have fun for their, and this is full of business deductions. Book the Cosmic Green Bus. So employers can do employee training. They can book me to teach the employees about humor for the health of it. how to enhance customer service, how to actually, and then they can book a webinar with me where we do business, make the contracts. But I'm only doing business with people who are willing. Oops, that copied the wrong link. So I missed a step here. Got to go back. So I share my pitch, which has the capacity for 600, and we can do business contracts, and we have the breakout rooms, so we can literally do online to local, and local means people can participate from their home, their phone, their offices. So the fact that Sue was able to participate from her office, that is really good, that her employer is letting her use the internet that way, or whatever. Let's see, I'm not finding my link to my pitch, so I will type that in separately. This is for businesses that are interested in actually, this is combined. So not only do they get the benefit of having their meeting platform where they can conduct business, but they will get my health and well-being benefits by coming in under Sister Sue Weaver. And that then helps me have a little stream of income, because I don't like to sell things. I like to facilitate the best. So anybody that comes in under me in the My Pitch webinar format, and that's a tax deduction for them, and there's all kinds of different economic levels. So people, and no matter whether they come in at the cheapest or the most expensive, they will get my free health and wellness benefits support services, which will be public. So I just need time to flesh out everything I've paid for. And so those are the links. Thank you so much for asking about those. I really appreciate that, because I was ready to exit out the door without giving that. And
That's one of the things I always do at the end.
oh, thank you so much. So I really look forward to meeting you and your wife and all the family. And just know that at Mother's Day, I had to send six Mother's Day cards, or we made them. I loved making cards, having with the children. I love making art in all forms. And anyway, my father got one of those Mother's Day cards. My father played dual roles. Thank you.
Okay, have a good night.
I am. You too. You are a gift in my present moments, and I don't know how many we shared. I didn't keep track of how long your podcast was that we spent talking,
I think it
but
was about an hour.
wow. And you thought half hour, and that I was going to be a short term or a little short show. So sorry. Alrighty. I have the
That's
gift
fine.
of gab. I am actually very introspective, but I'm also an extrovert when I'm out with an audience, because I'm working and I need
Mm.
multiple streams of income, and I want to deliver my free, wise use of tax dollars and time, because I know where these resources are that have been kept piecemeal. And I'm going to put a final thing for the people that were here, because I don't know a single family that does not have somebody that they know, love, like, trust, that has special needs now. So I'm giving the special needs dot help, and that is direct. We're all stakeholders in that, and I devoted time. Kurt invited me into that September 29th, and everything I proposed, there was no other certified people from a nursing background. So it's unusual to have a school nurse that was certified in community nursing and faith community nursing, and by the American College of Sports Medicine as a preventative rehabilitative exercise specialist, plus well coaches, which is recognized by the American College of Sports Medicine. So I just don't like making money and spending time one on one. I want to serve large
Yeah.
groups of people. And I no longer accept money for speaking at national conferences when they don't let their people, they don't have, they go for the Cancer Treatment Centers of
Yeah.
America as their sponsors. Cancer Treatment Centers of America will not let everybody that doesn't have the right insurance, they won't refer them to me. None of their employees or the people who
Yeah.
are seeking treatment know anything about wellness weavers. So that is nefarious. That is the Prince of Light's business system, and I am no longer patronizing it.
Hmm.
Thank you. And I'm
Okay.
done. Beaming off.
All right. Thank you for coming on.
And where will this recording be posted?
It will be posted on my YouTube channel.
Which I need
If
in
you,
the chat there, please, so I can snag that.
uh, if I remember what it is myself, you could just go into YouTube and type in Mill City Marketing MA, and
With
that'll open up my page.
okay, millcitymarketing.com.
And Mill City Marketing MA.
Oh, okay.
Why is Amazon paying me $20,000 a month?
Oh my gosh, it just came in loud. Okay, now search Mill City Marketing.
Oh,
And I just
there we
put
go.
the
Emily
YouTube
put it
channel in
in.
the chat.
Oh, thank you,
Emily
Emily.
just put it in on the chat.
Okay.
Thank you, Emily.
Thank you, Emily.
Yeah.
I'm subscribing. Ding. Okay, thank you. All righty. And Emily, is that then in your wheelhouse that you publish it up to the YouTube channels?
Yep.
So you're also publishing to the Spirit of the Games, or what else? Where else is this going?
Uh, Bill City Marketing at YouTube, and then I can also get on to LinkedIn and Facebook too.
Wow. Very good. Fine work. Networking, spreading the word. Thank you so much. So today is the day. Thankmas starts over at midnight. We are the gift in each other's present day, in the present moments. And there's no time like the present to fly into action to create the future we want. And I feel that we made a lot of smart action plan steps within this. So thank you all so much for being on the support team and making this happen.
You're welcome. And again, thank you.
Amen.
And if anybody wants to get a hold of me, um, my website up above, just take out the B. Don't add an S, just take out the B. That's my website. Or you can reach me at millcitymarketingma@gmail.com. And to view this podcast and any of my other podcasts, simply go to YouTube, type in Mill City Marketing MA. If you're a business and you're on Alignable, you can look me up by my name on Alignable. Outside of that, Emily, I think that does it for this week. Just stay tuned next week, folks, for a very interesting discussion. The two ladies that helped put this book out in 3 months from start to finish. 42 authors in this book. So stay tuned next week for those two ladies to be interviewed by me. Right here, live at 5 Eastern Time, every Friday. 4 Central and 2 Pacific. That